I have a confession to make, and this is not going to surprise anybody in my family at all. There's a fixer who lives inside of me. Oh, and she wants out so bad. She wants to fix everything and make everything fair. And when people are in conflict that I love, whether it's a friend or a brother or a child or a grandchild, I just somehow want to step in and mediate and give these words of wisdom and make everybody do what I think they should do. And there's the heart of the problem. It's not really about them. Years ago, the Lord began to show me that this fixer that lived inside of me, I thought she was super helpful and wise and sage. And what he showed me is that that fixer-upper that lives inside of me is less a help and more of a hindrance. Not only to other people and not only in the dynamics of my family, but it was a hindrance because I was so busy trying to think about and do and work towards fixing everybody else that it didn't leave a lot of room for God to do a work in my own life. And there's a ton of work that he wanted to do. So maybe when you're giving up that fixer-upper role, it feels a little powerless. And so you might think, well, Suzie, what do we do? And that's exactly what I began to ask the Lord. And the first thing that he began to show me is to ask one question. God, are you asking me to fix this? And you know what? 100% of the time, the answer was no. Did he want me to respond to it? Yes. Did I need to address it? Maybe? Yes. Did I need to make a decision concerning it? Probably so, but only from the inside out. I wasn't going to climb out of my ranch, this little circle right around me, into theirs. And more so, I wasn't going to climb into God's and tell him what I thought he should be doing in this situation. But secondly, by releasing the need to fix, understanding that sometimes it's their job to fix things in their own lives. Most of the time, unless they're 5 or under, it's their job to fix their lives without our interference. But also it's God's job. That those heavy places where there's conflict or people aren't acting like they should, or we think that somebody should be doing something that they're not, that's really between them and God. And it's hard. It's hard to do that, but that's trust and that's faith. But that releases me to do what I can do. And this is what I can do. I can pray. I can lead by example. I can speak truth. Now, if I speak truth and speak truth and speak truth, then it's nagging and I'm in their ranch. In my marriage, I can encourage and I can love. If my children are younger, I can set boundaries. There are things that I can do within my own role, within my own ranch. But I can't make them be or do what I think they should be or do. So the last thing that the Lord began to show me is to ask God to step into his role, to trust that he loves my family even more than I do, or that individual even more than I do, to give me wisdom in my roles, and to, if they need to run into consequences, that to be between them and God. If they need to work something out, or God's doing a work in their heart, to let that be between them and God, to let God be God, and not to confuse my role with his. It's not easy when you give up the fixer-upper role. I'm going to be honest with you about that. But it is powerful, because then God is free to begin to step into the roles in your life and into who you are, and to begin to do a work inside of you regardless of what anybody else is doing. So let's give up the fixer-upper role, okay?